Hey guys, Sandy here. Welcome back to my channel. It is Follow a Sketch Friday, and today I am using the sketch that you see up in the corner of the screen. I'm really excited to use this sketch. I'm already going to change it up a little bit and use two 4x6 photos instead of one. So let's see what I can do. Now the first thing I do is take this dictionary page that is from October Afternoon, and I grab my avocado ink from Close to My Heart and my ink blending brush, and I'm just going to add some green to the edges of this paper. I definitely liked the creamy feel to it, but it just still felt too white and too stark with the other papers I had pulled out. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this and distress it a little bit more. Now I could have done this with some sort of tan or light brown ink as well, but I'm using a good amount of green in my paper, so I felt like green was a good color to go with. So once I do that, I'm going to go ahead and trim down the big pieces for the main portion of the layout here. Now I don't follow it exactly. I don't have it matted onto one another. I kind of have them offset, and I like it that way. I am totally cool with the fact that it is not exactly like the sketch, and I am going ever so slightly rogue. But that's the fun, isn't it? When you do your own thing, whether you are using a sketch, you're in a class, if you can add your own brand to it and your own style, then I am all for that. Like, do your thing. So I go ahead and get those down. Now this bright blue may feel a little bit odd, but there are bright blue, hints of bright blue, I should say, throughout my paper. It is on this dark green paper, and then you'll see when I cut out my squares, the words are in that same blue color. They're not as in your face, but the color is there, so I think that it works. Now I am still toying with the idea of outlining that blue paper. I haven't figured out if I'm going to do that yet or not. Probably not, but the thought is there. Now I have this floral paper that is from Basic Gray, and I go ahead and mat my photos on that. And these photos are of Alana and I at Animation Academy, and we had just learned how to draw Jack Skellington. And I have to tell you guys, I absolutely adore Animation Academy. It is one of my favorite things to do at Disney. And since this was around Halloween time, it was in late September, so you know we're preparing for Halloween in Disney timelines. We were able to draw Jack, Sally, and Zero. We really just timed out our drawings and made sure that we were in line really early so that we could do it. So we have this set of 6 drawings, and I can't wait to get them up on the wall because, shameful little secret, they aren't up on the wall yet, which is kind of sad. We do have a wall where our family's drawings from various Animation Academy times are all in frames, and it's just this big wall of it, and it's probably one of my favorite things in the house. It is just a good time. We also like to make fun of some of the drawings because, whoa, some of them. Anyway, as you can see, I have moved on to the squares over here on the side of the layout. Now, I thought I was going to go against the sketch a little bit, and instead of having 4, go ahead and have 5. And I'm taking a minute to look at this to decide if this is really something I want to do. And I'm just looking at it, and it is not. It is not something I am choosing to do. I'm going to go ahead and take one of the squares off, and we're going to move back down to 4 squares, just like the sketch. And then that one that I turned around, it wasn't because I liked the design better. It's because the writing was sideways or upside down or something, and I decided to make it right side up. So now I'm just going to start digging through my stash and trying to figure out what I'm actually going to put on these squares and the rest of the things that are going to go on the layout. Now, I did struggle a little bit with this, you guys. On the sketch, the photo, it does not overlap the squares whatsoever. It's not part of it, and the spacing is a little bit different as well. Now, I have a gap on my squares, and I decided that layers are one of my favorite things. So I'm going to go ahead and layer my photo over top of the squares as well, even though the sketch doesn't really call for it. And that's just because I like it that way. And you know, you got to scrapbook the way you like. So I pulled out this Paper House cork sticker. It says strike a pose, and it was a very white sticker. So I have a foam blending brush that has a little bit of brown ink on it. It's a distress ink, and I just went ahead and took the white off of that sticker just by adding the ink over top of it. So now I am just going through my kit that I had created, and I'm trying to figure out what I want to use. So I love the fact that there are these pencil stickers in the kit, and it's all about drawing, so I figured they should go on there. It says full of joy and simple pleasures, and again, felt that like that was totally appropriate. I don't even have to justify it in my own mind. It just works. So now I'm going to start building little things on the squares. And I'm really not following, I should say, the design of the squares. I'm kind of doing my own thing. And there was another little sticker right there that was very white. And again, I just inked it up with that distress ink to take that stark white off of it. There's really not a lot of stark white color on this layout, and there's, now that I'm looking at it when it's finished, there are some pops of white, but I don't think that they distract. Like I'm having to look at it to figure out what is the pops of the bright white. So I was thinking about bringing in these black arrows, and they didn't really fit. So we decided to not do that. And I just refer to myself as we, and that's weird. So sorry about that. Anyway, I am going to layer up little bits over top of these squares. So I have this postage stamp sticker, and then I went ahead and put the heart on top of it. I am eventually going to move that heart and put something else over top of that square. But for right now, I'm liking it. And here is where I decide to move it. So I pop up that little heart, and then I cover up the postage amount on the stamp, because nobody needs that. Like, it's really not that important. It has nothing to do with the story or the photos or anything, so we're just going to ignore that. Now, I was thinking about putting one of those rhinestone hearts on top of the square, but I thought that that would be a little too sparkly. So I do have a little bit of metallic because I'm using these One Canoe 2 stickers with the metallic on them. But I didn't really want to go shiny, which is the reason why I took the enamel bit off of this shiny silver brad, because I wanted the color, and the word was appropriate as well, but that shiny silver brad wasn't really going to fit in with what I had going on metallic wise on the layout. So the layout has kind of that rosy gold, and it's not even, I wouldn't even say it's a super bright rosy gold. It's kind of an antiqued rosy gold. So the silver just wasn't going to work for me. Now I'm trying to figure out what else I'm going to use, so I'm just going through my kit and finding things. And then I have this duly noted chipboard piece, and again, very white, very bright. So I just inked it up a little bit, and that white and bright is no longer there. Now, I was thinking about using these chipboard words. I was thinking about putting memories across there because they were super fun memories. But I decided not to go with that. I ended up using a different title altogether. Now, these word phrases from my Vicky Booten sticker pack, I love them. And I actually saw this documented, and I thought that this needed to be on my page as well. And I didn't like the numbers that were over, or the words that were over on the right hand side of the page, so I just went ahead and covered that up. I get it, it's a dictionary and that kind of thing happens on a dictionary, but like I said, I didn't like it, so we took it off. Now I am just going to go ahead and try out a couple other stickers. I wanted to really put on that remember this sticker. My plan was to put that in the left corner and then have a tag coming out of it to kind of represent the journaling piece over on the sketch. But that the banner said remember this, and I had a sticker that says I am going to remember this. So I was like, that's a little bit too much in your face remembering this. So we decided, and I did it again. Refer to myself as we. Shameful. Just shameful. Okay, so now I have these Jelly Beans Soup Foam stickers, and I decided to use the word inspire. I felt like that was totally perfect for Animation Academy and drawing and, you know, arts and crafty type things and all that kind of good stuff. So it felt right. And it didn't feel like the black was like out of place. It didn't feel where I was like, oh my goodness, like what am I doing? Didn't feel that way at all. The black isn't a super deep, dark black either. It's kind of a dull black, so I think that that helps a lot as well. I do have the dictionary page has a lot of black on it. So do the photos. So I felt like it worked. I decided to move my I am going to remember this sticker because I liked the orangey this right here sticker. I finally got an arrow on by grabbing a cork one and just adding it up to this little cluster that I have going on here. Now my cluster over top of that left photo is much larger than what was suggested in the sketch, but you know, like I said, sometimes you follow a sketch completely, sometimes you just look at it and completely go rogue and nothing on your layout even resembles the sketch, and sometimes you just add a little bit or you take a little bit away. And that's what happened on this one, and I am totally cool with that. So I am going to add a couple of lines of journaling. It just talks about how Animation Academy is a favorite. It's a must-do for our family. And then I talk about how Lana and I were strategic on our planning for the characters we wanted to draw. And I just talked about how this is Jack Skellington of Nightmare Before Christmas. Because, you know, right now, anybody looking at these would be like, yeah, that's Jack Skellington. But who knows? Who knows? Who knows down the road if Jack Skellington isn't such a recognizable icon. I mean, who knows? And then I screw up the date down here in the corner. I started to write 10/2020, and the date is 9/2019. So I just grabbed a couple of little hearts and I cover up that mistake. And then I add a couple more hearts just because I felt like, well, I'm adding a little bit more here. We might as well make more happen. So it doesn't just look like I threw extra hearts. The hearts actually look like they are completely part of the page. So there it is, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I would love to see what you do with this sketch. If you go to the Scrapping Reflections Facebook group, there is a thread where you can post what you come up with on this sketch. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I will see you again real soon for another video.